Hey parents, Dr. Nikki here, and today we're going to talk to you all about low tone and how this can really set up shop early on in life and how we can actually help with neurologically focused adjustments to get ahead and actually build up their tone, help their core, and really just help their neuromuscular system just to function and continually grow better as they age. So, why is this really important? And about 50% of our autistic kids, they struggle with low tone. So this is really, really common. And then furthermore, if we have kiddos with speech delays, ADHD, and any kind of sensory processing disorder, many of them also struggle with that low tone muscular system. So this is pretty prevalent and we want to get ahead of that. Now, what actually sets up with that, low tone, what is causing that? And a lot of times we used to think genetics had a big deal to do with it, but we're actually finding out things like intrauterine constriction, so whether the baby was breech or just didn't have a lot of space to move, that can set up shop for just that low tone issue in the future, but also birth trauma. Now, especially when we're dealing with trauma to the head and the neck area, we can see things like neurological dysfunction really start to cascade from there. Things like vacuum extractions, C-sections, forceps use, and really strong manual assistance in that birth process can cause our upper neck and our shoulders to feel that extra stress from that. Things like induction can also cause that baby just to be a little more on that stressed and protected side of that nervous system. Now, when we see that kind of stressful birth, what happens is we have a lot of tension that sets up shop in this upper neck area, and it leads down to our upper shoulders. When we have such a high amount of tone and just tenseness in their shoulders and in their upper neck, that's going to lead to low tone everywhere else. There's going to be neurological dysfunction that happens, and there's going to be a miscommunication between those muscles and the brain that says, let's support here, let's stand up straight, and really carry our muscles and our weight into a really productive way. Now, I'm sure if you just look over at your child, you're like, well, he's not really, but if we look to see, those shoulders will be raised, they will come forward, and then they won't be able to actually activate that core and pivot. Now, I'm over exaggerating, but even just take a quick peek at your child and see if this is kind of the natural posture that they tend to be in with those shoulders rounded and nice and high. So these early triggers that can set forth from that birth trauma, early interventions can really set up shop for that neurological dysfunction to really cause havoc in our muscular system. Now that's all fine and dandy, but how can we actually track that and see if that is your child's issue? Here at Perfect by Design, we complete what's called an EMG scan. Now this scan is absolutely amazing and it gives us a ton of information. It'll actually let us know where your child's neuromuscular system is using an over amount of energy. So where they're, in their shoulders, we see just all this energy going up. And then we'll actually see where they're underactive. So where is that low tone really setting up shop? That lets us know where we want to go with our neurological adjustments to say, okay, we want those shoulders to drop down and we want to activate within that core. Now, physical therapy and other kinds of modalities really do focus on strengthening that core. But that core can be strong and good, but if there is no brain to body connection, then we see that body kind of struggle to set up shop. With a strong core, we can have all the muscles in the world, but if that neurological system is not activated, if it is downregulated, if there is any kind of imbalance within that system, the messages that are going to the brain are going to be a little bit messy, which means that the response that comes out is also going to be messy. We want to create a balance between the body and the brain so that it can create a coordinated response. Again, if we're having a strong core, but we're still seeing incoordination within that child, it lets us know there's that disconnect between that brain and that body, and we want to reconnect them. With that neurologically focused adjustment, we attack that imbalance and we find where we need to release that stuck tension within their body so that they can be in more of a zone of expression, coordination, and balance. If you feel like this describes your kiddo, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll answer any and all questions that you have. And let's get that EMG scan on your child so that we can really pinpoint to see where their low tone is, and we can activate that system, but we can also help remove that high tone and that extra tension within their system so that they work in a really well and balanced manner. This will set up foundation upon foundation as they grow and develop and as they continue to develop within life. It also helps with their sensory processing disorders or autism or whatever other challenges your child may have going on. The nervous system is the key to how we can help them get over those roadblocks. So parents, please let us know if you have any questions, and we can't wait to see you soon.